What's happening? Thanks for joining us again. I'm Chris.
I'm John.
And we are checking out a pretty limited release beer today. This is from North Coast Brewing out of Fort Bragg, Colorado. I'm not making that up, right? That's where they're actually from. It's true, the label says so. Anyway, this is their Old Rasputin, which has been aged in bourbon barrels. Comes in at 11.5%. And it's it's one of those unique sized bottles. It's the 500 milliliters. Similar size. We had their old stock.
The old stock ale.
That was bourbon barrel aged, and that was fantastic.
Was that the 2009?
Yeah, it was the 2009.
Right.
It was released last year, so it was in the barrels or.
And they were in these ceramic style bottles, weren't they?
I think that's just a plastic outer coating or
right.
some sort of like shrink wrap they had, but we already poured these just to sort of let it open up, warm up a bit, but I gotta say the lacing on top on top of the beer, it's really spotty. It almost has like it's thicker in some places than others. It's kind of odd looking.
Give it a swirl and see what happens.
It definitely brings back a full dark mocha kind of pretty thin head, but yeah, I'm not seeing much light on this. It's another one really dark,
but it doesn't have those
like cola mahogany kind of brown color.
But less red in this one. This one's more on the brown side.
Yeah.
And the nose is all about the barrels.
Ooh, that's huge. Like, just huge
that's
oak.
All oak on that. A little bit of bourbon, but that's definitely charred oak.
Ooh. Yeah, it's like you can definitely tell underneath there's a rich malt, but yeah, just big charred oak barrel. Some of that bourbon there. That is a really, really nice smelling beer.
And that's a really nice tasting stout. That's got the syrupy imperial stout character. That's exactly what I would be looking for in any imperial style stout.
This is the first time I've had this beer at all. You've had this before, right?
Nope, this is my first.
Okay.
That's why I brought this one over.
I thought you had this before.
Nope, this is
over
brand
Marks,
new to me.
But my whole thought is, why can't someone make this where this is available
all the time?
All the time.
All the time.
In every store I go to, because this is exactly how I want to drink every stout that I have.
But that's what makes this a treat, you know.
Yeah.
This is an imperial stout. It's the new trend the last couple of years, bourbon barrel aging these. If you drank them all the time, you probably wouldn't like them as much.
Oh, is that like when they used to give the inmates in Maine lobster, and then they thought it was cruel, so they limited it to only twice a week?
Right. That's right. But this is definitely one of those top of the game imperial stouts.
Because that taste is like you're just getting that big, strong oak tannins. You're getting the bourbon,
but the booze note on this is kind of not there. Like, this is pretty smooth drink. There's a little bit of the alcohol taste, but it's really...
You're getting the warmth, but you're not getting that boozy, just straight alcohol kind of taste on it.
And I think that owes a lot to this being one of the more syrupy stouts.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that, not in the bad sense where you're drinking something like motor oil, but it's got a syrupy note to it where it just kind of has that smooth flow.
Right. And what I find interesting with this one is when you get a regular Old Rasputin, I find that to be a very coffee-forward beer.
Very much, very much.
I'm not getting any of the coffee in
No,
this.
the regular Rasputins, they've got that dry stout. They've got the coffee. This is just what's completely new beer. It really retains very little of its original form. In a good sense.
There's the little vanilla in there.
The vanilla's starting to come out now that you've said that. Now that
It's
it
almost-
warms up,
almost-
just on the tip of the tongue.
almost like a little cherry sweetness again. Sort of like the last beer we were drinking.
Vanilla is definitely something that as the nose opens up, it's getting more of a vanilla character to it. As the bourbon dies out a little bit, the vanilla's coming forward. But again, that's the charcoal oak.
This is a fantastic beer. I mean, it still has great carbonation. It's not an overly thick, like viscous mouthfeel.
No,
either.
and that's the thing. It's just that little bit of syrup note, which is kind of overriding a standard stout, which would have that dryness, the little chalkiness.
Yeah.
So it kind of compensates, but it has that carbonation, which makes it you're drinking beer, not syrup. Really good.
Yeah. All right. So overall, we can pretty much say that this is a fantastic beer.
This is right in the A range as far as stouts go.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. This is definitely one of the top
Yes,
stouts I've
absolutely.
had. You know, and maybe that's just for say it's a barrel aged stout, but who cares?
There's nothing about it that doesn't pass the test. It's got the nose, it's got the flavor, it's just got everything about it.
Cool. So we're gonna keep enjoying the rest of this. Hope you're enjoying something as well, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers. This is a good beer. Holy shit, I gotta go make sure they got more of these.